Okay, so there is a question here. Mahesh ji is asking a question. What is the difference between Jayante and Upajayante? That's the question he's asking. Jayante means born, right? Upajayante also means born. So I have not thought through it, but Upajayante, Upasamipe, correct? Samipe. Kasya Samipe, near what? What is the context here? Let's go back to the shloka here. Yeah, Sargepi Nopajayante. Jayante, in a finite form. Okay, Samipe. Samipe means near. Near means what? You have to ask, you now interpret what near means. So in this finite world, where we're all near each other, so I'm thinking, we're all near each other. Because the infinite is not born. Only the finite can be born. And so that's a way to think. You have to look at these words because what Maheji is hinting is Krishna cannot use words just like that. Just like that, okay. Sometimes our Shastrakaras say, oh, just a filler. It's a filler to fill up that meter. Sometimes they say. And it is actually a bit jarring for me. Even that statement I can't accept. Just to fill up. What is this just? Krishna also just to fill up? I am also doing just to fill up. Krishna also is doing just to fill up. What is the difference between me and Krishna? No. So I don't know. That part I don't know. But anyway, Upajayante. I will look into it. I'll see if Shankara says anything or Ramaraya Kavi says it. I'll look it up. Okay? But that's a way to think about these things. Yeah, Haraprasad ji, go ahead.
Mahodaya, is it when we chant Vedas, we don't separate any sandhis. Am I right?
Correct. You are correct.
Okay. But in Bhagavad Gita, we do separate.
Okay.
Okay. So is that correct to separate in when we chant Gita? I can give an example.
See, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahavirtyam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastruma Vidvishavahai. So what Haraji is saying is, when you chant Veda mantras, it doesn't look like we are separating sandhis. No, even in Bhagavad Gita, we don't separate sandhis. But because we want to chant it in this particular chanda, divide the shloka into 4 quarters, we are not really interested in separating sandhis. We're not interested in. But to make it musical, we to chant in this, divide it into 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, Veda Parayanam is different. Veda Parayanam, it's continuous chanting. Continuous chanting. The entire Veda is chanted continuously without even taking a breath. Okay? That's how they chant. Yeah, so therefore there's no need to break the sandhis. But when you chant it like this, see, even Veda mantras, when you have to understand the mantra, you have to break the sandhis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If I have to explain to you, Sahana Mamatu, I have to break this. Without breaking, I can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of sandhis are operating right now. Yeah,
Correct.
So when you have to chant it in a particular meter, these are all written also metrically. Veda is not in any meter. Occasionally they are in meters, but often they are in prose. And also meters keeps on changing constantly. So
Okay.
Veda is not committed to a particular meter. Not committed. Yeah. And so here it's committed to a meter. There are only 2 meters in Bhagavad Gita. It looks as though whoever composed it, okay, if Krishna composed it, Then he's composed it in a meter. It's absolutely amazing. And you look at Tattvabodhakara, all the shlokas we've studied, Mangalacharan, they all composed in meter only. I thought Tattvabodhakara, what did he say? Tattvabodho vidhiyate. What was the Mangalacharan? Anybody remembers?
Oh, the first one?
Ah,
Oh,
Vasudevendra.
Vasudevendra Yogindram.
Vasudevendra Yogindram.
Natva.
Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate.
Budoya Bhod.
Drashtum
Avidhi.
Chanda. Drashtum Chanda. So therefore, uh, and there and where the Sandhi, see, Sandhi can always be separated. Even in Bhagavad Gita, when the Sandhi is not there, we can't separate.
The Sandhi is not there with concept. Okay.
Just because we are breaking the sloka into 4 quarters,
right,
and chanting it as 4 separate quarters,
yeah,
and we can't do that for every shloka.
Yeah, some correct.
Example?
Yeah. For example, in the first itself, Vartaya Pratibodhitam, Bhagavata Narayana Swan, it is one pada.
Yeah, but I'm
the
saying
whole thing is one pada.
Then one question, that is without breaking.
When it's a samasa.
Correct. That's the example I'm looking for, Harprasad.
Okay.
So, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Doshanu Darshanam. You can't break it because there's no sandhi. But for chanting,
Yeah.
learning, learners can break it, but it's not really breaking. And then this
So
Pashyan.
Jaykumarji, in this connection, there is a common mistake that I hear when people chant Lalita Sahasranama. There is a Namavali of Devi which says Durachara Shamani.
Yeah, correct.
And some people, because they want to, say it in the same slokam, they will break that also, which gives you the complete wrong meaning.
Correct. Durachara Shamani, one word.
Durachara Shamani, like that it comes.
The wrong dane.
No.
That is wrong.
Yeah.
The Durachara Shamani should be together.
That happens mostly in Carnatic music. They kill it to fall into the.
Okay,
can I continue my question, Jaykumar?
Yeah. So hopefully we have covered that question, which is, if we don't break sandhis in Vedas, why are we breaking sandhis in Bhagavad Gita?
Right.
We are not really interested in breaking sandhis, but if you can allow us to chant it in a particular way, you can break the sandhis. Where there is no sandhi, there is no question of breaking. Yeah.
Okay. So
number two, see the Veda. Veda also has a lot of sandhi. Okay, so sandhi is meant for breaking and rejoining only. But Veda chanting, Parayanam, we never break the sandhi, which is correct. What you said is right. And Veda also has swara. Smriti does not have swara. And so we have a lot of freedom in chanting Smriti shlokas, right? A lot of freedom. You can sing it also. And some people may sing it in a different way. And they may break sandhis properly, okay? And sing it differently. So it's all that is allowed.
Okay. Then, I follow you so far. I'm asking you, in verse number 1, Parthaya Pratibodhitam, the third pada, which is Bhagavati Mastadashadhyayini. It is one pada. The whole thing is one pada.
What do you mean by pada?
Okay. Pada is, pada means, what can I say? It's a word. No, it is not a word. It is written continuously. It is written continuously.
It is written continuous because plus a is ma. That addition is happened. Bhagavati Ashtadhyayinim.
Ashtadashadhyayini.
Ashtadashadhyayini, right? Bhagavatim plus Ashtadashadhyayini is Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayini. So that plus A becomes Ma.
Okay, when you chant, do you chant the whole thing continuously? Or can you break?
You're welcome to break it. You're welcome to break it. Bhagavatim Ashtadhyayini.
Okay.
Somebody wants to pull like that, they may break it. But they can't break it in wherever they want. They can only break it in those places. For which they have to know a little bit of Sanskrit at least.
Sanskrit. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay. Then
Yeah.
I think in 13.8, the second half is one
13.8 also, right? 13.8. Let's go to 13.8.
Book it maybe 13.9.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I said earlier. Dharma Mritti, right?
Yeah.
Where else, Mahesh? Besides 13.8?
I'm sorry?
Besides 13.8, what did you say?
No, I said that is chanted together because that's one word.
Yeah.
Correct.
Janma Mrityu Jara Vada Dukkha Dosha Darshanam is one word. That's what I was saying. When I say one word, the whole thing is, it is not a word, but there is no breaking.
Oh. That's the beauty of Sanskrit.
Okay.
Anything else?
Jagmarji, one quick question.
Yeah.
In Tattva Bodha, we talk about how this world was created. We talked about Panchikaranam, we took 1/3 of that, 1/5 of that, and all that. This came first. But here, all of a sudden, they said, oh, we put a seed on some womb. Isn't it somewhat different than what we learned in
Different. No, it's not different. Prakriti and Purusha. There he did not highlight the Prakriti and Purusha. There he said Tasmadva, even Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasmadva Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha Akashat Vayu. So all the subtle elements, then subtle to gross. So the Panchikaranam is subtle to gross. He chose to do the Panchikaranam, which takes the subtle to gross. Subtle elements are created. The subtle element creation, bring in here. Bring in here. Tasmin Garbham Dadamyaham. Without the Garbham Dadamyaham, there is no creation. So, details. See, remember again. You have to, the Purusha and Prakriti is critical. That's the critical part. That there is Purusha and there is Prakriti. There is Chetana Tattvam, there is Achetana Tattvam. That's important to me. Panchikaranam and all is detail. Even if you don't know anything about Panchikaranam, it's all right. It's all right. How did space become Vayu? Tasmadva Akashad Vayu. Taittiriya Upanishad doesn't say anything. I'm sure there is some text that talks about how Akasha became Vayu. Some process is there. I'm not that interested in that process. So it's good to know that this inseparable of exactly like pot and clay cannot be separated. Cannot be separated. Even if you say, no, I'm just going to close my eyes and imagine a pot. You cannot imagine a pot without imagining space. Space, minimum you have to imagine space, correct? Because form is there. Minimum. So you have a space, you have a pot made of space. Your imaginary space, whatever space. You put a boundary, right? How did you put a boundary? No, I put a boundary. What boundary it is? Some thought boundary. Some thought boundary you put based on some thought. You are able to imagine a form. To imagine a form, you need some. Even imagination is not possible without material. There is a question of having a whole creation without material. God created the world out of nothing. What kind of bunkum that is? Not possible. So, yeah, so we take the essential, Mahesh, take the essentials, and we what's not that critical, we can let go. We can let go. Anything else?
Paramahansa Swamiji says that since creation is not truth, therefore they explain in different way as it is to be dissolved as Maya later.
Creation, sorry, again, say that.
Creation is not truth. So therefore they explain in a different way as it is untruth and that to be dissolved later.
Vedanta's commitment is not to Srishti.
Same thing.
Science wants to find out how the world got created, all the details and all they want.
Yeah.
Whatever science says about creation, we will agree. They will have no problem with it. And they will also agree. Creation is not nityam. They also have to agree. Can't be unchanging. Can't say that. So it's a boiling cauldron. So science also will agree with all of us and we'll agree with science. But Purusha Prakriti, science doesn't know. Science is still struggling with consciousness. Struggling. Till they access consciousness, they will just within that anatma jagat is there, anatma prapancha is there. Anatma prapancha is endless. This journey will not end anywhere. That's why somebody who says science is always progressing is correct. It has to progress because there's nothing, there's so much to progress. So much. What we don't know is much more than what we know. Therefore, it will always progress. It will always progress. There's no doubt about that. Maybe that'll give us some consolation. Oh, it's always going to progress. That's good. So, future is always going to be better than past.
Therefore, Veda has end.
Huh?
Therefore, only Veda has end.
Therefore, Veda has end. Okay. All right, Vaidya, go ahead.
Kumarji, namaste. This is a question from last week, last class, Tuesday's class. So you had described 13.1 to 13.4. Did you call them Upakarma slokas? Or maybe I got the word wrong.
Upakrama.
Upakrama. Huh?
Correct.
Upakrama. What does Upakrama means?
Upakrama is abstract.
Krama, okay.
Opening statement. Make your opening statement. What are you here for?
Okay.
I'm going to talk about A, B, C, and D.
Okay.
It's called Upakrama.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Upakrama,
Yes, it's like an introduction to your talk.
Correct. Or if you and I are used to writing papers, journal papers.
Abstract.
It's the abstract. Those who are used to writing papers, it's an abstract. So sometimes if I want to read a paper, what do? You read the abstract.
Right.
And if you didn't follow it, then you read the conclusion. Yeah, there's no time to read this 30-page paper. Okay. Not possible.
That's right.
All the charts and graphs and this and that, experiments, methods, and I remember all that we did. Methods and something. And then experiments, then data, and then analysis, and then conclusion, and then some others. All these categories are there. Tell me the gist. What exactly is that? Sometimes I read the abstract and conclusion and still I couldn't figure out. Then I said, this subject is not for me right now. Right now, it's not for me.
Yeah.
No, I really wanted to read a paper. Somebody sent me a paper and I had to understand that concept. I was struggling. So,
and sometimes the abstract or the conclusions are not well written, and it's usually the defect of that paper actually.
Yeah.
Right, because you should get the gist of what the research is by reading the abstract, and certainly abstract plus the conclusion should give you a very good idea, right?
Part of Anubandha Chatushtaya.
What is part of Anubandha Chatushtaya?
Upakrama Upasamhara.
So, Upakrama Upasamhara is part of Shadlinga. Shadlinga. Shadlingam. It's called Shad. Anubandha Chatushtayam is different. Vishaya, Adhikari, Prayojanam, and Sambandha. That's different.
Yeah.
But our people have analyzed all this properly. There's a very good, thoroughly analyzed, because they've gone so deep. You have to, the deeper you go, you have to develop all the narratives, the pedagogy, and the epistemology. All these things have to be well done. So we will. This has to become more mainstream. All this has to be more mainstream. So we have a lot of work to do. Thank you. Thanks to all. Next Wednesday we'll have Dhyan. Wednesday morning.
So Jaikumar, you said Upakrama, Upasarga is a different thing. So what is Upasarga?
Upasarga, Sarga. You are now bringing your word. You are mixing and matching.
Oh,
And you've done some copy paste and all. Upasarga is a Sanskrit word. We use Upasarga in Sanskrit.
okay.
Pratyaya and Upasarga. Upasarga means prefix.
Okay.
Prefix. But here, Mahesh ji was asking about Upajayante and Jayante. There it is Upakrama, Upasamhara. Upasamhara means that conclusion of the paper is.
Oh, okay. So yeah, when you said you can read the abstract and the conclusion, that's what Ramuji mentioned.
And that is what is Upakrama. Upakrama, Upasamhara.
Upasamhara. Okay. And that is called Shadli, you said? Shad.
The linga, the Shadlinga, there is 6. Shadlinga is a concept. Which means what? Every text must have these elements.
Okay.
So if you look at that last talk, you will see that. Upakrama, Upasamhara. So it has to have an abstract or it has to have an introduction. And in a long text like this, sometimes there might not be. I mean, one chapter, you need not have all these 6 elements.
Mm-hmm.
What are the 6 elements? Introduction, conclusion, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, repetition of certain concepts. Okay. Apurvata, there has to be something new in that chapter, something that was not already said before. Okay. The phalam must be there. What is the benefit of this knowledge? What is the effect of this knowledge? What's useful? So when we did experiments, we had to justify, right? We had to come up with you write a proposal to the government, to the Department of Health and all that. You have to say, why am I doing this project? Why am I asking for so many hundreds of thousands of dollars? And so, phalam kya hai? That has to be there. Then, arthavadopapatti cha. Arthavadaha must be there. Ninda stuti must be there. You critique something and then you praise this. You have to say, right? Why all the past works and all are good, but then they have the following limitations. I'm going to do something better. I'm going to produce a medicine that has fewer side effects. Arthavadaha, upapatti, logic, reasoning will be there. In every text, there should be some logic, rationality. So you can't apply this to things, to certain faiths and all. You can't apply all this. Something that has to be believed. You can't apply. Because reasoning is involved.
Yeah.
All right, good. I have this today. My 9:15 class is starting at 8:30, so I have to go now.
Okay. Thank you, Jaikumar.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Om Namo Bhaga. Yeah, was there a question?
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarva Maya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.